Hi, I'm Kate Monroe, Marine Corps veteran and CEO of VetComm. I started VetComm because I knew that there was a need in the veteran community. I took 11 years to get my own rating. In fact, I would never have tried to get rated if I didn't try to get vocational rehab that you can only get if you get rated. I was just trying to go to college. Even though I got assaulted, smashed my nose, my eye socket, my ankle, my elbow, I somehow was under the delusion that I was not owed or deserved benefits because I wasn't a hero or whatever that is. And I thought I was alone in thinking that, and I just basically walked off from my service like so many of us do and got nothing. But then later, about 10 more years after I got rated, a few years back, I started a car dealership, and on the side of the building I put veteran owned and operated, and it was like a bat signal to the sky. All the veterans, all the active duty personnel came to get a car. And so in trying to put together a car deal, say Dennis is there trying to get a car. Well, Dennis doesn't have enough income to get that car provable to the bank. So I would say, hey Dennis, hey bud, do you have any VA disability compensation? And he would say, no, or what is that? Or I tried and failed, or you know what, like you, I don't really think it's for me, it's for all those heroes. So after helping about 200 people, I started to think, is anybody rated? Does anybody know that there's millions and millions of dollars? So I researched it, and it turns out there's 10 million veterans who are collecting $0. To put this in perspective, it's more than $100 billion a year, even if people only got 50%, that we allow the government to do whatever they want with because we think we aren't owed it. So that's really why I started VetComm. I thought, there's all these free ways to do it. Nobody's doing it. And sometimes when things are free, you just think, I'll do it tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow becomes 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Or that free help is like every other thing that you get for free. It's just not of value because of the nature of the fact that it is free. So I wanted to make a fast pass, easy, hassle-free way for veterans to get the most amount of compensation, least amount of hassle, in the fastest amount of time. In the early stages of VetComm, I had to build some coalitions because I didn't necessarily have the funds to build out all of the courses and build out the company. So I got a bunch of my friends together who are good at making courses, good at coaching, good at filming, good at editing. Tim, our CEO, you might see some of his content. He was actually working for me at this car dealership, building out my website and doing my SEO and doing all of the tech work. And one day I said to him, hey, I want to build VetComm. I wrote it on a board. I said, this is what I think we should be doing for vets. And he leaned in, and it took he and I about 2.5 years of working together 7 days a week to get VetComm to its launch phase, which I would say launch was about 1 year ago. We really hit our stride and started helping not a couple veterans, not 100 veterans. Now we're into the thousands of veterans that we are helping. But we had to build a lot of coalitions, and it wasn't easy. In fact, most people don't know this, but I originally thought this would be a charity and we would give away all our courses. I actually first wasn't going to start a business. I was going to give this away to the veteran community, and like all the other free help, nobody took us up on it. So then I said, maybe people need some skin in the game. Maybe that's what's missing from this, some upfront skin in the game. Like you get a trainer at the gym. You're more likely to show up because you don't want to waste your funds. And so we find that in charging our very tiny fee, magically the difference is made where people show up on time. They go to their appointments, they follow through, they get us their documents, they go to all their appointments, and inevitably they end up winning because they had to participate. We charge a lot less than our competitors because we spent 3 or 4 weeks doing our pricing model, and we looked at everybody in the industry. We're one of the only ones that charge up front. And my feeling is, after using a free service, after using one of the law firms that I had to pay thousands of dollars, I don't think we should be taking people's back pay. I think that they don't even get enough back pay for all that they've been through. I feel like that's their money. What we're saying is, if you're willing to pay like you do at Disneyland to go to the front of the line and have a hassle-free day, if you're willing to pay that small free fee, which we feel like is fair, I mean, you got to think, you're going to talk to us 25 to 50 times because every time you get nervous, you're going to want to reach out. Veterans are by nature anxious. We're anxious creatures. We have a lot of anxiety, and you're going to reach out to us a ton. And for us to provide you that level of service, we feel like that $9.97 one time is fair for the level of service that we give you, especially since if we can't do what we say we can do, we would owe you your money back, which means as the CEO of the company, I still would have had to pay the person who initially talked to you. and all your pre-claims people and your claims agent and all the customer support staff. So I'm actually going to go negative if we lose. That's how sure we are that we're going to win. You know, it's very common in the veteran community to think that we are not deserving. And I hate to say this, but VetComm is not the you serve, you deserve brand. Because I, even being 100%, can't tell you honestly that I feel like I necessarily deserve it. I had to resign myself to the fact that it's something that I'm owed, right? It's something that you're owed. And that money is already carved out for you, sitting in an account that you're not collecting. And when I realized that every single month my money was ticking away at now almost $4,000 a month, I was losing month by month by month, week by week, day by day, I was losing $100 or so every single day that I was letting the government do anything with. So if you're watching this and you are saying, well, I don't deserve it because my buddy served in a more heroic way, he lost his leg, he got blown up, you know, so-and-so saw, you know, people get killed, saw all this crazy stuff, you may feel like that until you go in your grave. And that's not something that we're necessarily going to overcome as a hurdle with you in this short period of time. But what I hope is that you realize I delivered myself to the service whole. For instance, like let's talk about Kate for a second. I delivered myself to the service as a virgin and then was raped. So is it really, like, do I not deserve compensation for having that taken from me? I think I do. There's a crazy statistic that 70% of service members get some kind of assault. So I think if you just delivered yourself whole to the service, you are owed the delta. If you delivered your whole body, your neck, your back, your knees, your ankles, elbows, everything whole, and now they don't work well because of the service, you're owed that delta. If you didn't have stomach issues going in, I had no stomach issues going in. Now I have GERD, IBS, and Barrett's esophagus. And I will likely not live very long because I choke in my sleep all the time because of the amount of stress that I have in my life. So I understand now Kate is owed this amount of money. And if you're watching this, you are owed money, whether it's 10% or 100%, $150 or $4,000, you're owed the money. And there's a very easy path to go and get it. In the early stages, I wanted to nuke VetComm every day because I was met with adversity and hatred from the veteran community because we charged even this nominal fee. I had the American Legion, the VFW, all these people that do this for free, you know, coming after me like, you're a scam and you're this and that. And I actually started to believe like maybe there's not a place for VetComm. So in the initial phases of VetComm, I went from being very excited to very discouraged very quickly. But then as I started to interview people that had gone to the American Legion, had gone to the DAV, had gone to the VFW, and got little help, very poor help. Maybe they had massive PTSD and were only rated for tinnitus. I started to go, you know what? I need to figure out why all these people hate Kate and hate VetComm. And it turns out that, we'll just talk about the American Legion, for instance. They will not exist in less than 12 years from right now, because people my age and younger don't see the value in these organizations. I'm not saying they're not valuable. They are of value. I hope that they still exist when I'm ready to participate with them. But right now, the way my life's set up, I don't see it as much value, but I will later. But they only have a 12-year runway. And the thing that they hold on to very dearly is that they get people rated for free. But you cost people thousands and thousands of dollars. I actually went to the American Legion and said, why don't you let VetComm do all of the intent to file and all of the claims for you so that they can be done properly in a timely manner where people can actually do really well, and I will donate those funds back to you so your organization can have a longer than 12-year runway. And they said, absolutely not. So once I realized that they don't hate Kate and they don't hate VetComm, they just want to exist, then I put that aside. And now that we have done almost $1 billion for veterans and their families, I feel very good about it. I feel blessed to be the CEO of this company. As you'll see when you watch all the rest of my employees talk about how they feel, we feel blessed to be doing this work. Is it hard? Do veterans MF us on a daily basis, hang up on us, rude to us? Yes, of course. But we understand it's because you are already angry. Right? We feel like this is a gift that we provide to you. I couldn't be more happy to stand up for the veteran community. That's why I ran for Congress. That's why I went and closed the border. That's why I work on veteran homelessness, because doing this work fulfills something in me, you know, maybe because I didn't get to finish my initial enlistment period, this is like the closure that I get by helping you.